Welcome to Small Giants MSMEs in the Spotlight, powered by Ugrow Capital, partnered by ET Now and ET Now Swadesh, a special series where we continue to unveil the unsung heroes of Indian economy. In this episode, we shine a spotlight on the pulse of MSME growth in India, exploring the transformative dynamics of access to finance, specifically collateral to cash flow-based lending, and its profound impact on propelling the growth trajectory of these small giants.
Millions of dreams, millions of businesses. But the path to success for an MSME is often paved with obstacles. The biggest, access to finance. Traditional banks love collateral, buildings, land, shiny assets. But for most MSMEs, that's a distant dream. As their passion, their potential, their hustle remain invisible to the cold eyes of paperwork.
So the challenge for MSMEs are, fairly formidable because the traditional banking channels are pretty much dependent on, range of formal measures of assessing the credit rating. So one is, of course, that none of them are rated. Their collateral is a challenge. Likewise, the financial documentation that they keep is very limited. And also the credit history is very limited in most of the cases. So the big issue what they tend to face is always around, for the lack of collateral. So the banks are very reluctant to fund them, and for the day-to-day working capital requirements or even the capital expenditure, etc., even the term loan, it becomes a huge challenge.
MSMEs have a lot of problems, a lot of issues. Basically, what we ask is for adequate finance and timely finance, and the cost of finance has to be reasonably good. So these are the three main problems. And the reason behind this is that, the ease of access to capital is still a problem in India, particularly to MSMEs. And basically, we have platforms like CBIL. They have their own way of functioning, which are not very suitable to MSMEs. The demand of collateral security, which government otherwise says that is not required up to 2 CR and even to 5 CR, but in real world that is not happening. Likewise, promoters' equity contribution is a big problem because especially for the startups and even for technological upgradation, people really feel a lot of problem because equity creation by promoter is a big challenge for them. So they really struggle there. The monitoring, reporting systems are also, quite complex. So we need to work on enabling environment. There is certainly an issue in regards to that.
Inadequate collateral and dependence on their past performance or their financials. These are the two high value common points which come out in every communication, in every meeting with the financial institutions when they are extending credit to the SMEs, that they are not able to rely on the financials of the SME. A, B, the collateral is not enough to cover the kind of repayment guarantee by the MSME. On M1, what we have personally done is that we have enabled a digital credit analysis of an MSME who is present on our platform. Now that digital credit analysis is made accessible to 55 financial institutions in one go. Therefore, an MSME doesn't have to repeat his credit record in terms of his cash flow analysis, in terms of his GST analysis, in terms of his relationship with his customers, all that business health. He doesn't have to repeat with every lender separately. It is made available to 55 lenders in one go so that there is information symmetry with all the lenders. Now, basis the credit risk policy of a lender, he can make lending to the respective SME that fulfills his risk parameter criteria. And this kind of enablement will overcome the requirement of the lack of credit information or the reliable information of these MSMEs. As the cost of borrowing reduces, the MSME becomes more competitive, his product cost comes down, and he'll be able to compete both in the domestic and the global market. And that's when he will be able to also save money to reinvest in his business. So these are 3 points I would say they have to be continuously reworked upon depending on where we are in the stage to help the MSMEs overcome this struggle of borrowing.
In a landscape of challenge and adversity, the government has forged a beacon of hope by offering guidance and loan guarantees that aim to bridge the gap to financial access in tandem with microfinance institutions. Joining hands, they are paving the way for empowerment and prosperity, particularly for MSMEs.
Government has to do lots. They can really do wonderfully good in support to MSMEs, particularly the industry representation, particularly from MSME has to happen. When you talk of priority sector lending for MSMEs, but we don't see a proper representation in the boards of the lending institutions. So one thing is that, to onboard industry representatives in these banks board, and NBFC has to be encouraged. You just can't keep NBFCs at par with banks, and especially if they are totally dependent on banks for refinancing, then how would you bring the cost down? They are the people who serve these marginalized MSMEs. So somewhere this NBFC part has to be looked into, and particularly we talk of NPAs. Now instead of 180 days, they've shifted it to 90 days. That is a big problem, because sometimes cash flows of MSMEs, they really get disturbed only because of the external factors. So government has to see to all these things that ultimately they need to support MSMEs.
So I would say the prime thing is that government has done, a lot of sort of programs are there. So both right now from, funding for under various schemes, what they've had. So, right from Startup India to Mudra scheme to collateral guarantee, etc., including Agri Infra Fund, which is there, which again sort of, waives the requirement till a particular level for the collateral not to be provided. So I think that part is available. The challenge really lies is that the knowledge about these schemes, the financial sort of information what the MSMEs have, and third is that the informal sort of channel that exists in terms of being much easier source of funding the MSMEs, typically that becomes a larger challenge.
One of the key agendas which this government has been driving since 2012. And I must say that the strength of reaching the government policies to the MSMEs has been driven or taken to the next level with the help of digitization. And this is based on the strength of the internet reach in the country, strength of the mobile technology reaching in villages in the country, and thereby the schemes like Jan Dhan accounts, Aadhaar, all this has helped in the digitization of the economy, basis which the financial ecosystem has started to lend to the MSMEs in a larger variety than it was earlier. So some of the statistics points on the microfinance, since you asked that question, which I was reading by a report published by MFIN, which is the Association of Microfinance, is that since 2012 and now the growth has been 10x for the disbursement. What used to be 10,000 crore today is in the range of about 3.5 lakh crore, which has been disbursed in total, and 6 crore plus enterprises have been funded, micro enterprises have been funded. So this has been a positive upswing in the financing of the MSME enterprises reaching to the micro level, wherein the schemes is reaching the impact of the scheme is reaching the micro level of the country, and a lot of MSMEs are benefiting. Having said that, we're all aware the opportunity, the potential has only touched 5% of the country. The potential is to touch 50% of the country. And therefore, everyone is looking upon that how do we bring the next wave or the next impact to these MSMEs.
Digital Bharat actually. This India stack, right, and which we now call India Stack 2, and the way this has evolved is what would, explode the credit. So the entire framework, right, first the identity framework, what we call the Aadhaar. Second, the account, the JAM Trinity, the bank. Biggest revolution in India came when your mobile number and your bank account became one, right? And third, for small businesses, the implementation of GST. Fourth, the other big thing is account aggregation. What it means, that the power of the banking system and your cash flow now is available in a democratized way. You combine all of this is what is exploding the credit, right? So GST can do GST Sahay, account aggregation can do on-tap credit. So as what you have seen in UPI is what you'll see in next 5 years with this India Stack 2, what I call Digital Bharat of India.
In a world where small businesses seek financial stability, a revolution is underway. Cash flow-based lending is proving to be quite the game changer. Thanks to India's UPI revolution, lenders can now gauge a business's potential by scrutinizing daily or monthly sales for providing credit. As a result, cash flow-based lending is proving to be a fast and flexible solution for MSMEs.
Yes, of course, there is so much of talk about cash flow-based lending. So think of this way, that you are a small business, you just got an order for say 10 lakh rupees. Now the order has been given by a very large company and you need to buy material, process it and sell it to that company. Now the cash flow is very well known, and if you make the material, you give it to the company, this you will get the money. But against that order, there is no financing available. To buy the material, now a small business just keeps struggling. So whenever there is a defined cash flow which comes and you can lend against that cash flow, that is cash flow based lending. Historically, lending has been done on the basis of how you did last year, how much was your revenue, what was your profitability, but what your potential is and what you are doing and getting today, nobody lends against that. But the time is changing, that every time you'll raise an invoice, the GST Sahay platform will be able to finance you against the invoice.
No, so it's most of these MSMEs are very small. So the both by definition of the collateral that is there, by the the documentation that's available against the collateral, or I would go to the extreme of the lack of collateral itself. I think all of them have been a huge impediment for the growth of the MSMEs, and which continues to sort of still plague them. And I think the need of the hour clearly is that how do we move away from collateral-based lending to some form of the guarantees which can be provided to the financial institution, or the rating instruments which could come in where the collateral becomes not so necessary. And towards that, I think that is the kind of financing needs which the MSMEs require, and which is what really the entire process has to move towards.
In the year of digitalization now, and now when GST is being reported, these can be the parameters wherein collateral security really need not be enforced upon. All the big corporates, I don't see they take any collateral security. Ultimately, they have their own parameters to ultimately look into the debt service capacity of big corporates. Likewise, for small industries also, they can very well have that evaluation system. They can have the cash flow based understanding. And I'm hopeful that collateral security should not be insisted upon, and government is going to see to it. Banks are a little shy. They don't really bother about this part. Although government has been from various platforms, they've been saying that there is no need of collateral security, but banks do not feel comfortable still. So there is a gap between what government is saying and at the ground there are problems. We can clearly see that.
As we end this segment, our experts paint a hopeful picture who feel that with the right support, MSMEs can not only survive, but they can further empower the backbone of our economy.
As we draw the curtains on first segment of Small Giants MSMEs in the Spotlight, powered by Ugrow Capital and partnered by ET Now and ET Now Swadesh, we've uncovered a pivotal paradigm shift. The journey from collateral to cash flow based lending has illuminated the pathway to unprecedented growth for MSMEs across India. Join us after this break as we feature a design house that is creating waves in the arena of design. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Time now for an exclusive conversation with a very special MSME. We met the visionary mind behind ELM Designs, renowned for his innovative approach of designing without overwhelming the vision. Ninad Pardesi has carved a niche in the design realm, shaping extraordinary spaces that resonate with elegance, from captivating celebrity abodes to redefining design paradigms. Let's delve into his journey and unravel the secrets behind his design finesse.
India is a land of dreams, and for many, those dreams start small, in a home, an office, a space that reflects their individuality. But creating that space takes vision, passion, and a lot of hard work. Today we meet Ninad Pardesi, the founder of ELM Designs, an MSME that's turning dreams into reality, one brick at a time.
This was a childhood dream to start a design company which will give something which is out of the box. What I mean out of the box is which will give the community a space where they can get connected to themselves, they can feel themselves, something which is beyond materials, something beyond concrete, veneer, something. A space where you can feel connected to yourself, a space where you feel alive. That is the kind of space I always wanted to create. So a few key projects that we are currently doing and which we just completed. One home is in that Andheri, in a building called Rustamji Elements. That really, it's a beautiful project. Only reason, the space that we have created there, which we'll share you in one of the images, that it's a 2,600 square feet living room. We have divided the space into almost 8 zones. So there is a dining, there are different sittings in the entire space. So that project has come out really well, not because of the size, because of the planning. Because also the kind of materials that we have used, like we've actually used onyx on the floor. People get scared to use white onyx on the floor, and it's giving a fantastic thing. Then we would also like to share a retail outlet that we have done for a brand called White, which is at Juhu. It's another 6,000 square feet space. It's just out of the world because we've created an entire Italian kind of ambience there. Of course, you have to see it to believe it. Seeing is believing is what we believe in.
The road to success is rarely smooth. Ninad's journey is no different, who faced numerous hurdles like unreliable labor, demanding clients, and the ever-present challenge of financing.
Some of the hurdles that we encountered in our journey is when things don't, the laborers are not available, for example, or the finishing is not up to the mark, or the client is dissatisfied with some of the designs and the colors that we had selected together. So in that case, is most important. The hurdles can be overcome only by being patient, by being there at the moment, not getting I would say angry or irritated with the things, because client will always change their mind. That is the part of the journey, and that's the part of our business. Also, finance is also a bigger hurdle, but then companies like YouGrow, which they come and they play a crucial part in supporting these entire companies like us, and then sky is the limit for us because of the support that we get, and we are very happy and thankful to YouGrow.
Ninad's passion is fueled by the beauty of nature. This often translates into interiors that feel alive, breathing with the essence of the natural world. Currently, ELM Designs boasts of an entire lineup of impressive projects that includes a host of celebrity homes.
A lot of people, I remember 15 years back, when they came to my house and they were like shocked, okay, who did this great interior, and they still come and they still keep on asking me, and everybody has. There was a friend of Mahip who had come from Delhi, who said, "Ke, you've got so many electronics, you have so many," because I'm very fond of electronics. They said, "But I don't see a single wire, loose wire." So I said, "That's all thanks to Renu." So thank you so much. All the best.
You must have heard it a zillion times, but only nature and nature. Nature is the only inspiration to design anything. When you enter a space, I would call like a mountain or just rice fields also, you feel so elevated to be in that space, see the colors, study the colors, and then create those kind of images into the interiors of today. That's what I think interiors is all about. God has been kind. We do a lot of celebrity homes. We've just completed Saif Ali Khan and Karina's office. Then we have done Sanjay Kapoor and Mahip's house. We have done Sohail Khan and Seema Khan's house. We've done Boni Kapoor's house. And so this celebrities is not only about, they are people have a notion about celebrity homes or what would they, but trust me, when you work with them, they are such down to earth and lovable people that they make you feel so much at home. And designing a home and an office for them is so much more interesting because they trust you. They are so busy that they actually, once they trust you, they do not interfere in your design, in your day-to-day activity. So it's beautiful, and I would say it is very, very satisfying to do celebrity homes because of the freedom that they give you to design. It's really nice.
Ninad sees MSMEs as the backbone of India's dreams. He believes that by coming together, these small businesses can contribute significantly to the nation's $5 trillion economy dream.
All of us together will be able to get the $5 trillion dream, because if you see today, our company, in a short span of time, today we are at, for example, 300 crore turnover. And in the shorts, we are targeting with the art gallery happening, with things happening, like all the MSMEs together, we should be in the next 4 years, we are targeting to be a $1 billion company. Now, of course, you'll ask me how, but it is a dream that all the MSMEs together, if they work towards this goal, it is possible, because sky is the limit. Today, see the way infrastructure has grown. Everything is rocking right now. See today all the stocks, especially the infrastructure stocks, see the stock market. Everywhere there is growth, and I think India looks very, very positive. India looks the next hope for becoming the second or the third most powerful country in the world.
Ninad's story is more than just a story of design. It's a story of passion, perseverance, and the power of dreams. As ELM Designs continues to grow one beautiful space at a time, Ninad reminds us that every dream, no matter how small, can take root and reach for the skies.
And there you have it, folks. This special episode of Small Giants, MSME in the Spotlight, has shown us that dreams don't need walls. They need fuel. Forget the brick and mortar, forget the endless paperwork. The new currency is your hustle, your passion, and cash flow that are unlocking unprecedented opportunities for MSMEs across India. Do remember, The spotlight shines brightest on those who dare to dream big. Tune in for more inspirational journey on Small Giants MSME in the Spotlight, powered by Ugrow Capital and partnered by ET Now and ET Now Swadesh.